4.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to FantasyInsiders.com School of Success tutorial. I'm Davis Mattek, and I'm going to take you how to go through our PGA Lineup Optimizer tool. Go to FantasyInsiders.com, click on Tools, go over to the left, scroll past some of our premium options, and click on PGA Optimals, and it will load the screen where we're going to do all of our work. I'm going to talk about the inputs for our projections. We have our projections loaded in on the site. We have the type of golfer listed, their name, salary, their expected points above salary, a 10 percentile outcome, a 50 percentile outcome, and a 90 percentile outcome. The splits that are used in the model are the 50 percentile, and I'm just going to click here to sort by that 50th percentile to show the projections that they're going to be working off of from the top. We also have an expected make cut percentage over here that doesn't factor into the model, but that could help you in some of the lineups that you're making. And you'll also notice here right above player, right beneath player pool, we have all the different types of golfers, and if you're interested in those types, if you click on the projections screen or the projections page for any week, we have a description of all of those types, but they're basically what they sound like. We have the all or nothing, the all around, bogey avoiders, bombers, conservative, loose cannons, recovery specialists, weak short game, precision, and unknown. And there aren't very many unknown players in the pool. You're basically going to find those are European Tour guys, web.com graduates, and there's just simply not enough data to know the type of golfer they are. But we're just going to go up to the top here, right underneath the DraftKings tab, and click Generate Lineups to see what our first optimal is. So we have Day, Steele, Lahiri, Streb, Molinari, Keegan. So the tournament that we're doing this for is the Farmers Insurance Open at Torrey Pines, which is a really long course. It's about 7,600 yards. So we don't want Francesco Molinari because in my research I found he simply doesn't hit the ball very far. So we're going to exclude him, and we're also going to exclude Keegan Bradley because Keegan Bradley he's not very good, guys. So we're going to exclude him. We're going to go up to the top, and we're going to generate some more lineups. So now we have 5 more lineups generated with no Molinari, no Keegan Bradley. We get Day, Steele, Lahiri, Matt Jones, Robert Streb, Patton Kizzire. That's a pretty good team. So if I felt like that was what I was comfortable with using in cash games on DraftKings, I would simply open up a new tab, go to DraftKings, plug those players in. That would be my lineup. But let's say it's Wednesday night and we want to run some tournament teams, do some different things. And I know that this is a really long course. So we can exclude some player types from the projections and see what we get. Well, I don't want anyone who can classify themselves as a recovery specialist because those guys generally are not long enough off the tee. Bogey avoiders are players who simply get a lot of pars, so we don't want them either. Hitting the fairways isn't particularly important here, so we're going to go with no precision golfers, and we also don't want any conservative golfers because players at this course, they need to be taking some chances. So let's run another set of lineups. There we go. We have Day, Lowry, Finau, Lahiri, Jones, Kizzire. And then we have a bunch of different pivots off of that lineup. Another way to build tournament lineups. But let's say all we want is bombers. We know this is a really long course. We know that winning scores here tend to not be that high. So we want some bombers. And I'm going to leave unknown unchecked as well, simply because maybe 10-15% of the player pool is pretty new, so we're going to need some lower salary guys in order to fill out a lineup. So let's generate some more lineups. The first lineup we have here, pretty similar, but we're basically getting Holmes and Finau as more optimal. And let's reset the excluded, reset the locked. And let's say in your research you found that you really like Jason Day. You think he's going to be in all of your lineups. You really think he's going to win the tournament. And Jamie Lovemark is a player we don't have a ton of data on, but his recent form has been tremendous, so we're going to lock him in as well. And you think that Robert Streb is simply too cheap for this tournament, so we're going to lock him in the projections as well by clicking on this green check mark and generate another lineup. Again, we have another 6-man lineup of the structure that you like on DraftKings with a pretty good lineup. But we don't like Molinari. We said that already, so we're going to exclude him again and run again. We don't like Keegan Bradley. We're going to exclude him, run again. There, we like Matt Jones. So this is a really good way to set about seeing a bunch of different possible combinations for tournaments as well as for cash game lineups. This is how I set my lineups every single week, and the key really is to figure out through research which types of guys tend to do well, and we have some great stuff on site to help you do that. If we go to PGA content, for example, we can click on Timothy Frank's trends and stats, and he mentions the stats that are really important: driving distance, par 5 scoring average, birdie or better percentage, and those are all available on pgatour.com/stats. And by knowing all of those different outputs, you can get a bunch of different combinations of players that you really like. But it's a very simple tool that functions off of our projections. And again, you just click generate lineups, and it gives you a bunch of different combinations with the 50th percentile column of players from our projections. Good luck, everybody.